as well. Boy, Drugmuller's got the off-speed, the pitch, the changeup really working.
Yeah, and I love the strategy to attack this team early. And also, I mean, to me, that one looks like a pitcher's pitch. A little bit right maybe in the river there, but establishing the strike zone early like you talked about, Dean, and then going with that. And as an offense, it only should take one hitter to then spread that message to the rest of the dugout that, hey, it's maybe a little bit off to the outside edge, and then you learn as you go, and you learn and you develop pitch by pitch and recognize that strike zone.
Outside, 2-2.
And Dean, also, if I'm Rachel Roop, even after the strikeout there, I'm going directly to Elena Escobar and telling her exactly the strike zone that I saw so that on the other side of things for Liberty in the circle, they can capitalize as well.
McManus goes with the pitch. That'll be a base hit. Picked up by the freshman Thomas, and runners at first and second. Nice piece of batting by McManus. Take a look at the defense, which does include Thomas out in right field. There's Anna Gold, shortstop, third baseman a year ago. It'll be Burgess, Jennings, Thomas across the outfield left to right. And then across the infield, Malaulu. I think I got it. Gold, Vega, Baker, and Rodriguez. Did I get Tess?
I think you did. And I have to apologize to Tessa's family. I worked on the see, you know what? Now I did it again. Malaulu. A number of times, gave her a text last week after she had home run, heard my call and realized it was a little bit off. But of course, Tessa, as kind as they come, said, no worries. I know it's hard. I know you're working at it. So we're working at it up here in the booth.
Yeah, testing us. And part of the reason she's testing us is she's been solid.
Yeah.
As we take a look at Savannah Watley hitting .408. Watley's got a runner in scoring position where she is hitting .375. They get an out of second, throw it over to third, and close play and out. The tag was on time. First three in the order for Marissa Young, who's kind of moved around quite a few players in today's lineup, as you see it right there. Jennings, Vega, Burgess, Mathis. 1-1. Right through Jennings, who has struck out 15 times. I feel like strikeouts are a little up for Duke this year, batting, Rain.
Yeah, I've also seen the same thing, and there you see another punch out for this Duke offense. And to go back to your point about we've seen Duke strike out a bit more, and even in the ACC where they rank in strikeouts is not where head coach Marissa Young wants to be. But I think you also look at the strength of schedule this team has played this year. It's been a difficult year in terms of how many ranked opponents they've faced. They've challenged themselves. And ultimately, if I'm head coach Marissa Young, and I think this might be what she feels, this is going to prepare them even better for the postseason. And that woman right there is going to play a huge piece in this season for Duke. And the numbers are just video game.
Vega gets it high in the air and gone. A solo shot adding to the video game that Rain Wilson was just talking about. Vega goes yard, and it's 1-0 Duke.
And Vega crosses home plate for run number one for you.
Yeah, what a nice swing by Amina Vega. To see the pitch up in the zone and take it early in the count.
Liberty here, bottom of the first with Rain Wilson, Dean Linke. Delighted to be with you for a doubleheader in Duke. Delighted to be with Rain Wilson. This is Gold, pops it up. Underneath it is Root, so now 2 down. Flags really aren't moving, so Vega did that all on her own, I would say, Rain, that solo shot. And really no wind in play.
Now up your left fielder, number 5, Amaya Burgess.
Yeah, into one of the deepest parts of the ballpark. Down right, down left here in Durham. It's 190 out to center, 220, and those right center and left center gaps feel really deep as a player out there. But there, I mean, just so much power off the bat of Amina Vega, and to do it oppo just speaks to the work she's put in the weight room and the powerful swing that Amina has.
It's Vega's third home run of the season to make it 1-0 Duke. Burgess comes in hitting .262. She does have a home run as well with 10 RBI. Burgess popped to the second base. Oh, and dropped by Woodard. Really don't even understand how she dropped it. Sun?
Yeah, the sun, especially in Durham in the springtime, that is a dangerous spot for the right side of this field. The sun peaks right over the grandstands here in Durham. A beautiful sunny day, and there the softball gods give one to Amaya Burgess, but they all kind of even out, and young players out there, the best strategy against the impenetrable sun in the sky is to keep that glove up there, wait for the ball to fly out of it. Very, very difficult to do, and Amaya Burgess and this Duke team will take it.
Wow, and because of the sun, Rain, they're not giving her an air there. It was meekly hit, though. I guess it didn't get... I didn't think it even got that high in the air where it would get that caught in the sun.
Well, I think that's the piece is as the sun starts to set, it then starts to kind of creep over the grandstands right back to our left. I can remember a number of practices here at Duke Softball Stadium after class in the afternoon, right around 4 o'clock, and that sun right in the tough zone. And this Duke team is prepared for that, but Liberty, like you mentioned, coming in, there eats up Savannah Woodard.
Burgess will take it. She's on first for the hit, as this is KK Mathis. Mathis right up the middle. I like to say Mathis is a softball player and just stop right there, because I feel like you know what I mean when I say that.
Absolutely, a ball player. I mean, KK Mathis this year.
Thomas, the rookie outfielder, hit her first home run, which is
this Duke team to continuously get better game over game, because Dean, we talked about it. The goal is not to play your best softball in March or April. It's to play it in May and June.
So Thomas hitting her first home run in the Syracuse series, right?
Yeah, an absolute bomb, walk-off home run for the freshman. Massive, massive hit. Not only for that game, but, man, it instilled some confidence in the freshman.
Was chasing that one. Duke will get one across on a solo shot from the superstar Amina Vega. They'll leave two. We played one. It's Duke one.
Hitting on top of the second for Liberty.
So Jesse, first pitch fouls it off. Liberty has a wonderful 14-year SID. His name is Joe, and he was telling me that Dot is from the school of nicknames, which I love, you know, like, so she's got a nickname for every team member, including Jesse, who hits this one pretty hard right at Jennings. Calls her Jesser, and he said half the time when she fills out the official lineup card, she'll actually spell their nicknames as opposed to their actual last names.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love the ability of head coaches to create the fun in every day in the routine, and it's easy to kind of have it be very monotonous, but you could tell this Liberty team plays with a lot of fun, a lot of energy, a lot of fire, and that definitely comes from their head coach in Dot Richardson.
Dot is, like you, also really good in television work. I'm old enough, Rain, where when she was doing some stuff after she got done playing, she's really good. You're not surprised, I don't think.
I mean, what can't this woman do? We talked about in the open, if you're just joining us, Dot Richardson, one of the GOATs, Olympic gold medalist, orthopedic surgeon, head coach of Liberty softball, taking into that program to new heights, and also could, take my job in an instant if she came up into the booth. So Dot Richardson, what a woman she is.
Won that first gold in '96 at the Atlanta Games. It is worth telling everybody that in 2028, you're probably already thinking about Los Angeles, but softball will be played in Oklahoma City, which will be incredible because they've got a big enough stadium. People get that is Softball City, USA, right? So that's kind of a unique perspective. Even though the Olympics are LA, softball's going to be in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, I think as a softball fan, I'm very excited to see the crowd and the energy in Oklahoma City. and the world kind of collide, where the Women's College World Series is held every year, and every year it is an electric event. I went for the first time last year, but I am pretty sad that those athletes won't get to be in the Olympic Village out in LA and be around the other athletes. And Oklahoma, for folks who don't know the geography of the United States, very far away, but a remarkable setting for softball. But I do feel for those athletes and the inability to be in the Village.
Yeah, that's well said. I actually was the U.S. soccer press officer for the 92 Olympics in Barcelona, and experiencing the Village and then the opening ceremonies and all that it is about is just truly special, Rain. So that's well said. I'm going to hope that they let them maybe be.
Second punch out of the day for the senior Danny Drugmuller.
So that'll bring up Dorr, Paige Dorr, hitting .342, sophomore. 2 home runs, 14 runs. Duke 19-9, Liberty 23-4. And as you'll hear me say often, we're playing 2 today, doubleheader, first of 2. Dorr, Drugmuller got her glove on it, Gold backs it up anyway. Good play by Marissa Young, who you just saw, the Duke head coach, here in the bottom of the second. Rodriguez at the plate, followed by Baker, and then Malaulu.
Here we go. Yeah, 5.
Rodriguez, the sophomore. Nice pitch. Escobar with 2 strikeouts already. Oh, that's a great piece of hitting by Rodriguez as she's on with a
deep in accounts, but to get their best swing off, Kyrie Rodriguez does it there and is rewarded with the leadoff single for Duke.
So that'll bring up Jada Baker. Jada Baker, the junior, hitting .224. Does have 4 doubles and a couple triples. Marissa, she looking to make a change at the runner? Yep, she is. So, pinch runner for Duke will be Gabriella Mike.
Number 8, Gabriella Mike.
Gabriella Mike, number 8.
Got it. Gotcha. On the runner, ladies. Yeah, 5. Let's go.
0-1 pitch. They get the lead runner. Cannot get Baker over at second.
Yeah, nice job by Liberty to bounce back after giving up the leadoff single. Find a play, find a force out, get the speed off the base path. But it does not get easier as you have to face the senior Tessa Malaulu.
Malaulu, hitting .300 on the season with a couple home runs, 2 doubles, 3 triples. 0-1. And that one's across for a strike. Rain, real quickly, I know you're not the coach, but why do you think Marissa thought it'd be a good idea to put Tessa in the 9-hole?
Well, and for situations like this, these coaches have access to a ton of data, and you can look and see what are the most high leverage positions in your lineup. Where do you find the most opportunities come? And specifically in the 9 spot, this turns your lineup over. And so when you have someone in the 9 hole that can turn your lineup over and create more opportunities, I think that's a solid position to be in. But ultimately, if I'm a head coach, I'm looking at where the most high leverage opportunities lie, and that might be the 9 hole for Duke. And I don't have access to that data, but if I'm Marissa Young, I'm using Tessa Malaulu very, very strategically here in the 9 spot.
Well said. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Down goes
work and third punch out of the day for Escobar.
I love that comment. Lets the spin work, because I know what you mean. Lets the spin rise the ball and out of the strike zone and away from the batter. Fouled away.
Yeah, and typically, you know, the old baseball adage is lefty on lefty matchups can be very, very difficult. But in softball, it can change in a heartbeat. When you have a righty who can work arm side with a ton of run to the outer part of the plate, that can be difficult for these left-handed hitters, especially when you have the confidence of Escobar to go in. Because now Deanna Jennings, although a leverage count of 2-1, she's seen both in, she's seen both away. So she has to keep both of those pitches in the back of her mind along with the off speed as well.
2-1. Picked up by Watley. Slings it over to Roberts, and Duke with the leadoff single leaves one out there. We played 2 at Duke Softball Stadium. It's Duke 1, Liberty 0 on ACC Network Extra.
Brooke Roberts, the senior, has been batting .563 in conference play, which is, they're coming off the heels of conference play. So this is a critical at bat, not the normal 8-hole for this Liberty team. Brooke Roberts is swinging it really, really well right now.
329 on the season. Rarely strikes out, rarely walks. I mean, she's up there to hit, which you don't always see in that number 8 slot. And Roberts with a couple doubles and a couple home runs.
Yeah, and the speed mixed in with the ability to use the feet to put the ball down opens up the infield. And when you match that with power, just opens up all kinds of opportunities for Brooke Roberts.
Defensively, Duke has already made good plays here. Got out of the inning with an untraditional double play in the first inning. And even Jennings on that one that was hit directly out to center field. Her ability, Rain, as that was an easy out, her ability to, no matter what, even if she makes the wrong move, to get outs, that's all she does out there. She just gets outs.
Yeah, I call it the no-fly zone out there with Deanna Jennings. And even balls that are tracking to be going over the fence, she makes look routine. And she is an elite outfielder for this Duke ball club.
Rachel Crane. Wonderful pitch by Drugmuller. I guess it's worth saying again, the umpire has been consistent on the strike zone, on the corners, and also on the changeup dropping. He has caught those strikes so far. Fouled away. Ulu at third, Gold at short, Vega at second, Baker at first. Baker has played shortstop last year. I like this infield a lot for Duke.
Yeah, I think it works really well. I think there's balance at all parts of the infield. There's a ton of range for this team.
A great hit from the number 9 hitter, Crane, on with a 1-out single here in the top of the third. Go on about the infield, though, Rain, if you can.
No, I think that when you have the ability, there you see Jada Baker next to Crane, to move your shortstop, your starting shortstop to first base, and to really create depth in the infield. And Anna Gold, at home where she belongs, at shortstop, played there nearly her entire life, was a fantastic third baseman as well. But this team, very balanced, a ton of range. And then, to add Amina Vega at second base, who, for me, is one of the best, if not the best, second baseman in the country. And then, of course, Tessa Malauulu, with her experience at third, her calmness at third. She's always in the pitcher's ear. I think this is a optimal infield for this Duke team.
Savannah Woodard, who walked to start the game. Ahead in the count, 2-0. With this one to Vega. Vega, nice flip to Gold, and Gold smart, did not have time. Good slide in there by Crane to slow down any transfer from Gold, but lead runner out at second.
Off runner and 2 outs here in the third.
Even in warm weather, that does not feel good. Just a little bit late was Roop, who struck out her first time up. Got the batting average, though, way up at 364. That strikeout was just her 6th of the season.
wouldn't be surprised if at some point in that bat, if Dot Richardson gives Savannah Woodard the green light. Only 6 for 9 on the year, but with a hitter like Rachel Roop up, you want to give her the most RBI opportunities you can, and worst case scenario, Woodard gets thrown out and you lead off the inning with Roop. So I wouldn't be too surprised if at some point in the at-bat, Woodard gets the green light.
Just missing a bit outside from Drugmuller. McManus on deck for Dot Richardson and Liberty. On the inside, talked a lot about the accolades of Dot Richardson, including the fact that she is an orthopedic surgeon.
Yeah, what a job she's done. You know, we talked about in the Open, but with athletes like Rachel Roop, a senior for this ball club, she's seen an NCAA tournament every year. 3 of the last 4 years, they've made it to the final. So they're not just a conference winner that goes to the tournament. They go to the tournament and compete, and they are just one swing away from making a super regional.
Strikeout, and that'll end season. The difference in the game is it's 1-0 Duke over Liberty. The bottom of the third with Vega, the number 2 hitter, followed by Gold and Burgess. It's high. Dora, Madry, and Roop across the outfield for Liberty. Crane, Watley, Woodard, and Roberts across the infield. Jesse, the battery mate of Escobar. Right at the knees of Vega. And across for a strike, it's 2-1. In the hands of Vega, she'll fight it off, foul ball. Two, fouled away.
And that's a dangerous pitch there. You can see Elena Escobar trying to go inside there, right back where they got her jammed up the pitch before. That one creeped back over middle away, which is the home run we saw from Amina Vega in the first. So can Escobar establish the inner half again?
Full count. Goes without saying, but another good at bat here from the talented Amina Vega, who's got her average flying high at 425. She had been above 500 for a long part of the season. It's impossible to stay there as the competition gets better, but she's doing her best as she gets on with a leadoff walk.
Yeah, for Amina Vega this year, we've talked about her all year long, but her ability to elevate against the best pitchers in the country. This Duke team, we talked about it earlier, the strength of schedule is there. They have played some really difficult opponents, UCLA, Florida twice, you know, even Syracuse last weekend, Clemson, all across the board. They have been battle tested.
Gold hits it high in the air, not deep enough though, right at the edge of the warning track. It'll just be a long out for Gold, and tagging was Vega. Wasn't going to go, but when it got through,
building percentage at .954, and on plays like that, you cannot take a moment off. And so for their young player, any young players out there, you go to tag, you get off, and you read the play. The play is not over until the ball reaches the circle. There, Amina Vega takes advantage, and she's replaced by the pinch runner, Leah Terrell.
So Leah Terrell standing at second base. Had to lay down the bunt was Burgess. So see if Crane stays in a little bit more. Looks like she's gonna. She was already there. Burgess advances the runner, so does her job, gives Duke a chance. KK Mathis coming to the plate. So Mathis 1 for 1. Had a stinger right up the middle. It was like right back where it came from, elevated. Their numbers last year at James Madison, which, by the way, JMU is always good in multiple sports, including softball, Rain.
Yeah, what a year she had for JMU. And yeah, Dean, I actually transferred from there. So, you know, good transfers coming from JMU all the time. But no, KK Mathis is the real deal. A solid ball player and a junior, so a veteran this year, but even watching her play softball last year, just exudes this confidence and is a true ball player. I mean, competes every single time she steps into the box. And even in this at bat, Dean, if you kind of look at each pitch separately, those two misses are pitches, those two strikes are pitches that I think if you ask KK, she can't do a ton of damage with. So although 2-2, she's really comfortable in these counts and seeing the ball really well.
Got under it, high in the air, and Crane's going to drop it, and a run is going to score. So that's why you always run it out, folks. Always run it out, because
is not communicating and saying 2-2-2. KK Mathis did not hesitate. And for any young athletes out there, that is exactly what you need to do. Like you said, Dean, ball is in the air, sprint it out, because you never know when those opportunities can come. And now KK Mathis doesn't stand at first base. She stands at second in scoring position, and with Duke up 2-0.
That is not going to sit well with Dot Richardson, head coach for Liberty. Crane did well to at least immediately establish that she was going to take this from Watley, where a lot of times you'll see the shortstop kind of overrule the third baseman if it's a tweener. I guess it really wasn't a tweener, so Crane demanded the call, but then just dropped it.
Yeah, and sometimes your hand-eye fails you. I mean, that's just part of the game. I think if we saw that same exact play over and over again 100 times to Rachel Crane, she catches it 99. That was the 100th, but to me, when I look at that play, it's the post play. It's the communication about where the runner is. It's the keep playing. And to credit Crane, she did a great job of continuing to play, anticipating that there could have been an out at first base. But the defense there needs to have their eyes on the runner and identify where they're headed and then communicate that to their third baseman.
3-0. Thomas thought perhaps that was ball 4. It was pretty close to being ball 4. It's 3-1. There's ball 4. So now runners at first and second with 2 outs, and Kyrie Rodriguez coming to the plate.
Yeah, and that's another piece, if you're Elena Escobar, that hurts. You get behind. Brooklyn Thomas, as of late, has been swinging it very well, but at this point in the game, you're trying to attack and let your defense work.
High in the air, the center fielder, Madry, is under it. Duke does get one across, though, on some sloppy defense from Liberty.
Over on West Campus, so to see how this place has grown has been incredible.
It'll be McManus, Watley, and Jesse for Liberty here in the top of the 4th. They do have a couple hits. McManus has one of those 2 back in the first inning, as Danny Drugmuller has been solid. She's given up just 2 hits, walked 1, and struck out 3.
Yeah, Danny Drugmuller has been super solid for this ball club, and the name I circle in terms of her success has been Rachel Roop. Over 2 on the day with 2 punch-outs. Very, very difficult to do against an athlete like Rachel Roop, and so it just speaks to the athleticism and the dedication that Danny Drugmuller has put into her game, and it doesn't get easier against a hitter like Bryn McManus either, who singled her first time up.
Right down the middle, where it had to be, as she was behind in the count, 3-0. Now it's 3-1. I thought maybe Dot was going to unleash McManus there at 3-0 as Drugmuller comes back 3-2. Are you with me on that? Thought maybe she'd let her go ahead and swing one.
I would say if it's a 1-0 lead, potentially, but down 2, you need base runners, and you know that 1 run is not going to win you the ball game here. And also for McManus, 4 home runs on the year, that's no small number, but you know, for Rachel Roop, On the other hand, 9 home runs on the year. If there's a runner on, I think you do turn her loose, but Danny Drugmuller has really, really done a good job with her back against the wall at still executing really good pitches.
Good job waiting on it. Nice work by Thomas out there in right field.
Is that the shades weren't on for that one, but Brooklyn Thomas makes it look easy, gets the first out here in the top of the 4th.
Gold steps into it. The runner is out. Good play by Gold. Good work by Baker on the stretch. Gold over
like we have here today, those are the type of plays that don't show up at the end of the game as being so critical, but really are. Anna Gold's ability to put herself in a good fielding position, transfer quickly, and make that throw is not easy, but Anna Gold makes it look easy, and this Duke defense has made it look easy today.
0-1. And for me, the best part of the replay is Baker's commitment to keeping her foot on the bag.
Yeah, absolutely, especially with how the field works here in terms of the bounce back from the dugouts. Whereas in baseball, you have so much room in foul territory. If that ball gets by the first baseman, most times that runner can take off to second pretty easily. Here with Kyrie Rodriguez running up the line to back that throw up, if it gets by you, you live to see the next play. Whereas if you get off the bag to protect from that, you don't get the out. So distinction here, especially with Duke Softball Stadium and generally how the field is positioned in softball.
Always great to be alongside Rain Wilson. It's Duke 2, Liberty 0, and a 2-out walk here in the top of the 4th. As Drugmuller walks Jesse.
Okay, now the center fielder, number 42, is batting. She is KK Madry.
Here's KK Madry. She struck out looking her first time through against Drugmuller.
And just going back to Danny Drugmuller's success today, when you look at Rachel Roop, she's had success against her, but I also think the other name you circle is KK Madry. The numbers speak for themselves. If you can keep her off the base path as a steal threat and a power threat, you're in a good position. That is a nice pitch by Danny Drugmuller. I'm not sure exactly where that misses, but a nice job by KK Madry to know the strike zone, to let that go away and put herself in a better position here with a 1-1 count.
When Rain Wilson says KK Madry can steal bases, she is not kidding. She has 27 stolen bases out of 30 tries.
Yeah, and this entire team has wheels. Over 70 bags stolen across the season, and their ability to find ways on and then create chaos with their feet, and that starts with Dot Richardson giving her team the green light, but also athletes like KK Madry who use all the tools in the toolbox to create ways on, and then just speed does not slump, Dean. So they use that a lot on this Flames team.
Oh, so close. I actually feel like he's called that a strike before.
Yeah, this one, River, right over the batter's box line. I think that's a ball if you had the little square like they do in the MLB. A good take by KK Madry, a great pitch and execution by Danny Drugmuller. Ultimately, you shake that up to, that's good softball, just off the outside edge. And I think if KK Madry there was rung up, we would say, what a great pitch by Danny Drugmuller, but good softball all around.
Yep. Back inside, good at bat.
It doesn't show up in the scorebook, just shows up as a free pass, but that was a battle that Madry won.
3 walks given up by Drugmuller, but I don't put a ton of weight in it because it's not like she has been inaccurate, right? She's not like hitting the bull or anything like that. She has been in and around the plate all afternoon.
And I think too, even just going back to the Savannah Jessie walk and the KK Madry walk, there's a couple pitches in there that.
Ooh, it spins Burgess and goes off Burgess' glove, and we'll have a tie game here as Burgess at first maybe just a little bit too casual. Then it's like, wait, hang on, this one's got some spin on it, swerving away, and she can't get to it. And 2 runs.
Something we expected this to be a dogfight. We've got just that. Paige Dorr, first double of the season.
So with 2 outs, they get a couple on, and Dorr spinning Burgess around. And now it's 2-2. And they may not be done, as there's still a runner in scoring position out there, as Dorr standing on second. Talked about stolen bases, 71, 10th and D1. No fly zone, and Jennings takes care of it. But we got a tie game now. We have played 3.5, and it's Liberty.
Circle now, and with a tie game, even more confidence for the senior.
Baker. You would know better than me, Rain, the bandage that, you know, we thought maybe was causing a little bit of issue on the right-hand index finger is no longer there. Was it gone for Syracuse, you remember?
I don't recall.
Okay. Well, it's gone now, so that's important, right? I think, because no matter if you say it doesn't affect you, I mean, I think that one finger sticking out like that, I mean, I think it does affect you a little bit.
Yeah, I'd imagine in different kinds of ways, and, you know, knowing Jada Baker, an ultra competitor, likely not thinking about it, likely not considering, but, you know, obviously your hands and your fingers are super important in your swing and your at bat, and I'd imagine maybe threw her off a tad, but ultimately what a competitor Jada Baker is, and I'm sure if you asked her, it didn't factor into her gameplay.
She rips this one. She rips it deep and gone. Wrapped or unwrapped, home run for Baker. And Duke, just like that spot, struck out her first time up. 9 walks, 11 Ks on the season. And she answers that strikeout with a base hit. So Tessa Malaulu on first base.
I'd be so curious the kind of conversations this offense had coming off the weekend against Syracuse, where they got a steady diet of off-speed from the arms of Syracuse. Now they are committed to swinging at the changeup, and it is working in their favor.
Check swing.
But the walk that she battled to get in the third, and ultimately this is why you see the meeting here to discuss the approach against Amina Vega, knowing how critical this is deep into this ball game.
In the bullpen for Liberty, Paige Bachman, 6'2".
Yeah, I think this would be an opportune time. It looks like Bachman might join us out on the field. This is a very opportune time. Drop ball pitcher. We'll get into all that Paige Bachman brings to the table, but especially against Amina Vega. Advantage Amina Vega when she's up against an arm for the 3rd time. And so I think this would be an opportune moment, but you have to also recognize that we are playing a doubleheader tonight. And so you try to keep your cards as close as you can, because the more data points the hitters can have, the better off they will be late in ball games.
All right, new pitcher. We'll come back and tell you more about Paige Bachman after this.
Fredericksburg native and a huge member of this ball club. We'll talk about what she brings to the table, but she's a hard-throwing righty who can work down in the zone and also mix speeds. And one piece of her game, too, is she's worked on the rise ball. So not only can she go south, she can go north now as well. And then one thing you won't see in the stats, Dean, but knowing Paige Bachman, she's been there before. She's been in high-pressure moments. She's not afraid of the bright lights, and that will be huge here against this Duke team tonight.
6'2". Her record's 5-1. Got an ERA of 1.99. Hitters are batting just .267 against her. She's got 40 strikeouts against just 10 walks. Behind in the count, though, 3-0. It'll be a 4-pitch walk to Vega.
And if you're Paige Bachman, there could be absolutely worse things than that. I also wonder if she didn't quite have enough time to warm up in the bullpen. I couldn't eye how long she had out in the right field bullpen, but still looking like she's getting comfortable, and not a lot of time to get comfortable against a hitter like Anna Gold.
Strike to Gold, looking for her first hit. Gold, 311. You can see her average at 318, which is the highest of her career. Not quite as much power, but the home runs are starting to come. I think, she got 5 home runs now for Gold.
Yeah, an all-time program leader for this Duke program, and has a ton of power in the bat. And even back when I was on the team until the 2021 season, I remember Anna Gold coming on campus. I remember our coaches saying, hey, we want her. Remember her being in the recruiting pipeline and waiting for her to get on campus, and she has had an impact since day one. From Bachman, natural movement down, high velo. There, Bachman establishes the upper part of the zone and gets the first punch out of the day.
So here's Burgess, who has a chance to make up for. They did give her an error, right? No, I guess they did. They didn't give her an error. She got spun around out in left field. Sorry, no error, Rain, but not her best moment. Now a good chance to make up for it.
Yeah, and in any time as an athlete or defender, you make a mistake like that, and not an error in the book, but if you asked Amaya Burgess right now, she would say, absolutely, that's a play I should have made. And anytime you have the opportunity to then cash in runs for your team, knowing you could have prevented those in the last half, huge opportunity for Amaya Burgess.
2 balls and 1 strike. Bachman in relief of Escobar here in the bottom of the 4th, where Duke has retaken the lead. Liberty tying it in the top of the 4th. 2-2.
And this is a big pitch here. If I'm Amaya Burgess, I am getting on time, getting the foot down early, and get my best swing off.
And she's hit in the 3rd, her second time seeing Drugmuller. Still Burgess, Jennings, and Thomas across the outfield. Malaulu at 3rd with Gold, Vega, and Baker across the infield. Kyrie Rodriguez, the catcher. See the numbers on Crane. 385 on base percentage. Two balls, 1 strike. Rain, 2 for 2.
Yeah, Rachel Crane has put together a couple of really nice at-bats here today. This time, stays back on the off-speed and drills it up the middle. And that's exactly what you want if you're Dot Richardson. Looks like Dot Richardson is going to sub in some speed for Crane. It looks like it'll be Aubrey Norris coming in for Liberty. And knowing here 5th, 6th, and 7th, you have the top of your lineup. Runs are at a premium. This is, if you're Liberty, exactly where you want to be in the 5th.
So leadoff hitter, Savannah Woodard, who is 0 for 1, walked and reached on a fielder's choice. It's part of that pop that I was telling you about to start the game, where 17 home runs are featured in the top 3 of the order. Wow, what a pitch from Drugmuller.
Lefties as a right-hander. That's something on the youth level that I encourage all young pitchers to establish both parts of the zone. And you can see it there, Woodard, 350 off of righties, 500 off of lefties. I mean, 350 is still pretty darn good, but 150-point differential there, and Danny Drugmuller taking advantage. And you got to realize, too, Dean, both of these ball clubs have a ton of analytics on how to approach these hitters, and that plays into the pitch calling as well.
She went in on the hands, then went right down the middle, then went just on the edge outside, as Drugmuller showing just a little bit of everything here to Woodard.
As Rachel Roop stepping into the box here soon, and to me, that's likely what the conversation looks like here, having a discussion about where the misses are, the best approach, pitch calling ahead of one of the most dangerous hitters on this Liberty team, and Rachel Roop.
There's Rachel talking to Dot Richardson. You said it earlier, the fact that she already had 2 strikeouts against Roop. The odds of getting 3 in a row are not great.
No. And I think if you ask Rachel Roop how many times in her entire career going from youth to now she's struck out 3 times in a game, probably very minimal. Even twice in a game is probably uncharted territory for the most part for Rachel Roop. I mean, coming into this one, only 5 strikeouts on the year. Huge at bat here in this ball game.
So Norris, the pinch runner, over at first base with Roop. 9 home runs, 10 doubles, and a triple. 20 extra base hits for Roop. Has struck out just 7 times on the season, walked 12 times. A great eye at the plate. So the fact that 2 of those 7 strikeouts have come in this game, it is indeed rarefied air, Rain. That's so well said by you. Drugmuller. Gold, oh, what a play! And out at second base as Gold gets it over to
Q. Knowing pre-pitch, a ball that takes you in the hole, that backhands, throwing across your body, across the infield, especially with a runner like Roop, who has 4 stolen bags on the year. What a nice job by Anna Gold and Amina Vega, the middles for this Duke team, to get an out somewhere huge in this ballgame. Gotta credit Bobby Martinez and Jimmy Robinson. And on the other side of things, Dean, I mean, you have to challenge that if you're Dot Richardson, knowing how close that play was, knowing what it would mean, first and second, 1 out deep in this ball game with the heart of your order. But tip your cap to Anna Gold, shortstop for this Duke team.
That was a great play, big time play. I mean, Rain, Anna Gold, you think about making sure you have all the right tools, but then the ability to go to the backhand when you need the backhand and make that kind of play and then plant on that leg right there. That's a big time play. Moving from third base last year back to, I'm sure she probably played shortstop her entire youth career. Most of the good ones do, but she's really good.
Yeah, and her strengths, I think, lean more towards being an elite shortstop. She was a fantastic third baseman, to your point, Dean, but we saw it there. Her ability to use the glove side, arm side, and be mobile to both sides and use her range is the word I'm looking for. That's where she's at her best, and you match that with the arm strength, and you have an elite shortstop.
Yeah, I mean, she reminds me of like a great golfer. To be a great golfer, you can't just putt, right? You got to be able to drive, you got to be able to chip, you got to be able to putt. She can do everything.
Yeah.
I can't do any of those things. Foul ball. I bet you got some golf game, Rain.
You know, I wish. No, I actually, at a work event, we had a round of golf coming out, and I was really nervous. I do this whole softball, baseball slice action. So I got with an old college roommate who played golf in college and worked on it on the simulator, and, you know.
Figured it out?
Shot a 120. I'm just kidding.
Strikeout for Drugmuller. And that inning included great defense from Anna Gold. Duke has the lead. Come to the plate, the bottom of the 5th, up 3-2.
Paige Bachman executes a nasty pitch down in the zone. But one thing I love about KK Mathis and her approach is her ability to adjust pitch to pitch. Everything goes into the memory bank, and she uses every pitch as information.
Mathis gets a piece of it. It's going to be tight, and Mathis hustles down, rounds first, and is at second base sliding in. And that's the second time we've seen Mathis do great base running. Remember the pop fly that was dropped earlier, and she was standing at second base. Now it's second here on a bad throw.
Takes advantage going to second base.
So Thomas, 0 for 1, strikeout and a walk. Brooklyn Thomas has 3 doubles to go with the home run.
Nice. Here we go. Here we go. Come on, Pop, you're doing your stuff. Let's go. Here we go, Bob.
Nobody out. Mathis at second base. Across for a strike from Paige Bachman, number 51.
Come on, Bob. Come on, Bob.
Bachman had that one at 68. The hands made it tough for Thomas to lay down the bunt. Full count. Thomas freezes the runner at second as a good play by Crane to deliver it over to first base, and Roberts.
Yeah, nice bounce back there by the senior Rachel Crane. Somehow every time an error occurs, that ball will find you very quickly. It finds Rachel Crane there. She guns it over to first base, get the first out of the inning.
Number 32, Kyrie Rodriguez.
So here's Kyrie Rodriguez with a base hit and a fly to center, 1 for 2. Dropped down to 57 that time from Bachman and across for a strike. Wonderful pitch.
Here we go.
See Kyrie's numbers. Rodriguez drives this out to center field, caught by Madry. And here comes Jada Baker.
What a swing by Jada Baker.
Wow, and after Mathis hustles over to second base to start it, 3 straight outs. We played 5, it's 3-2 Duke.
The bottom of the 5th, Duke scores no runs on no.
Danny Drugmuller has put the team on her back, not only this season, but here so far in this one against Liberty.
Watley, Jesse, and Madry, as you just saw, 0 for 4 on the day as the meat of the order handled by Drugmuller. Drugmuller goes from 61 to 67 in 2 consecutive pitches. How about that pitch?
Yeah, that's one, I think if you ask Savannah Watley if she wished she would have pulled the trigger on, that was the pitch. A lot of white, 68 miles per hour, a lot of velo, but right where you want it to be.
Vega slides her feet, has the hand in front of the glove, all the things that you want to do if you don't want to take any shortcuts. I was going to ask you about that, Rain. Like at this level, sometimes you get big-time players in that, you know, won't put the hand in front of the glove, that will sometimes elect to go across their body when they don't need to. If it's working for them, do you just stay quiet, or do you try to get them to break those habits?
Well, actually, coming into college, coaches do it all kinds of different ways. In fact, some coaches actually preach against doing the alligator, putting the hand in the glove. And I think ultimately it's where you get the most success. I think the best programs across college softball bring athletes in, and they, of course, adhere to the program, the type of defense they want to play. But ultimately, that's why, in my opinion, Coach Young and her team have had so much success, is she coaches them as individuals. And of course, they have their ideas, especially associate head coach Taylor Wyke and Olivia Watkins, of what the defense they want it to be. But ultimately, you play to your athletes' strengths. And if you don't do that, if you try to double down on the weaknesses, I think you're putting your team at a disadvantage.
Tremendous breakdown, Ray. Do appreciate that. 3 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Jesse walked and scored in the 4th when Liberty tied it.
Falls off the table. That's a tough take. Savannah Jesse makes that look easy and gets the base runner for first base. It'll be Lily Hydorn running for Liberty.
So Hydorn, a senior from Marysville, Ohio, Worthington Christian. Direction from Coach Richardson. Madry. Her name's KK, and she did look at a K in the 2nd inning, walked in the 4th and scored. Yeah, you got KK Madry for Liberty, then KK Mathis for Duke. Madry, big time season, hitting .436, slugging at .513, on base percentage of .471. Has got an OPS of .984, and you get a runner on at any time. She's hitting .408. All of those really good numbers. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Vega, flip, Gold. Just going to hang on to it.
Yeah, great decision there by Anna Gold. Knowing the speed, pre-pitch. That's a conversation.
Here's Dorr. Almost hit Madry. Good job by Thomas to get it in quickly. 2 out base hit for Dorr.
Let's keep it going. No way. You gotta be kidding me.
And it looks like they'll call KK Madry out for leaving early.
Okay.
Awful.
And this is another piece. Also did not look close. We get another look at that. I know our team's working on a couple different reviews now, but I don't.
So our camera operator's here. Ryan Gibbons is here. He'll be there for basketball as well. So it's Christopher Dubois and Chris Metzloff as well. And then Zachary Smith added in. Blake Woodard, our outstanding producer today. On graphics, Jamie Carr-Black, Sarah Ellis is with us, Matt McCullough is with us, Nick Forbes is with us, Austin Edwards, Michaela Mosteller, Will Black, along with Zach Powell. And a strikeout there, that's huge. Coming out of the pen with the bases loaded and just 1 out. Massive K right there.
Yeah, and Dot Richardson describes Tyler Erb as spinny, has movement up in the zone here, climbs the ladder against Jada Baker, gets the first punch out of the game for Tyler Erb. And you mentioned, Dean, a massive out, not only for morale, but to get out of this inning and limit the damage from this Duke offense.
Tessa Malaulu. Couple singles today. Got her average at .315. Foul ball.
Yeah, that's a nasty pitch there, not only to spin it up in the zone, but to take something off of it. 53 miles per hour coming in, sits right around 63, 64 typically, but there uses the off speed to her advantage.
Good play at second base, so that will give the top of the order for Liberty a chance here, but they're down 5, 7-2 Duke.
7th.
So Curd pitch to Woodard. Woodard first pitch swinging. the lefty wearing 1-9, a little bit high. I mean, I don't know if you're a skier or not, but from the slopes of Utah, now in the truck on graphics, Jamie Carr Black, just incredible.
How about that?
This one hit high and gone. A solo shot from Woodard has made it 7-3. Woodard with her 5th home run of the season.
Well, Dean, there's no 5-run swing, but if you're Liberty, what a start to the 7th here. Savannah Woodard, check this out. Misses a teeny bit over the middle, but credit Woodard getting her barrel out in front of her and drilling this ball out to right center field. You mentioned the 6th home run of the year for Savannah Woodard, and that one is what this Liberty team needs. Maybe not for this game if they're unable to make the comeback, but for data for next game. If Cassidy Curd is the starting pitcher in the circle, that's got to give Savannah Woodard in this lineup a lot of confidence heading into game 2.
Roop high in the air. It was spotted the entire time by Vega. Baker had no idea where it was. And to Vega's credit, very loud, saying, I got it, I got it. So Baker didn't even have to worry about the sun. Good track from Vega.
Yeah, and I think when you look at these two ball clubs and this game and you kind of zoom out at what happened, the defense has been polar opposites. Liberty struggled defensively here in this one, but Duke has made the tough plays look easy, and that one goes infield fly or infield fly ball, and Amina Vega reading it perfectly, having the back of her first baseman who's dealing with the sun right now. A nice job by this Duke defense once again.
Bryn McManus, 1 for 3. Base hit in the 1st. Flew out to right field in the 4th, and then struck out in the 5th. Manis from McMinnville, Oregon.
Yeah, sun's still playing a factor, Dean, here in this one, and likely early in game 2 here tonight. That's kind of what we were chatting about earlier as the sun peeks down over the grandstand. It is right directly in the eyes of the first baseman, Jada Baker.
2 balls, 2 strikes, and another hit. 8 hits in the game now for Liberty. 4 errors as well, but with 1 out, runner at first.
And you can tell this Liberty offense came in with a game plan for Cassidy Curd. You can see it in their approach there. Bryn McManus does a nice job of getting on top. When you're facing a pitcher with a lot of movement up in the zone, you have to commit to getting on top. Cassidy Curd working the bottom part of the zone here, doesn't get the call. And sometimes there you see the top of the zone. Sometimes when you have a pitcher who, really peppers a certain part of the zone, even the umpires can almost shift the zone up. There, Curd does not get the call down, gets the call up, and evens the count at 1-1.
Watley looking for her first hit of the day. Hitting .385 on the season. So now just 1 out away from ending this game 1.
Yeah, this is just nasty arm side stuff. Meant to go away, but we've talked about it all game. If you have the ability to move the ball and let the ball dance, good things are going to happen there. Curd gets a looking strikeout.
Jesse takes a look at a ball just outside. She's got 2 walks and has scored 1 of the 3 runs for Liberty. And 304. She does have 1 home run on the season. KK Madry on deck. Kurt seems like a good teammate. She's always smiling.
Absolutely. Great teammate, great human. What a good role model for young athletes out there. We did a podcast a couple weeks ago, and
that's going to do it. Vega with just the scoop. Duke wins game 1 7-3, and they get their 20th win of the season as they'll go to 20-9. Liberty will fall to 23-5. Your thoughts on game 1, Rain?
yeah, I think for Liberty, the positive is that you take away that these are adjustments that you can make defensively. 4 errors on the ball game, and they didn't hit the ball